Hey, how's it going? My name's Jon MacLennan. Hope you're having a great day, and I'm here with GuitarControl.com bringing you this video lesson. And we're going over some classic Angus Young rock and roll 101 guitar parts here. I'm going to break down a song called Shoot to Thrill, show you the main guitar parts throughout the whole song. And we're going to zoom in and break it down. Don't forget to click the link below so you can get the tab that goes along with this video lesson. And let's zoom in and break it down. Here we go, Shoot to Thrill. Alright, so we start out with our first finger on an A chord, and I'm kind of combining the two guitar parts here so you could play this, just with one person, but you've got the A power chord, open 5th string, and then 2nd fret. And you hold your first finger down, and I dampen the other strings so that those strings are muted. I don't want them ringing open. And then I'll also bring my thumb over the top. A lot of these Angus Young kind of style, they're basically open chords, but they're modified to sound good with distortion. And so a lot of the thirds have been removed from things, and you'll see G's and D's played like this. So here's the A, so you play the A, and then you take your second finger, put it down on the 3rd fret, then go to 4th, and then back to the A. So it's like... Okay, and then we're going to go to a G chord, and I really just use 2 fingers. This is sort of my AC/DC G. 2nd finger on the 3rd fret here, the next string is muted. The next 2 strings are open, and then the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. And sometimes I'll get the 3rd as well, by just borrowing that finger down. So it's a 2-finger G. It sounds really good with distortion. So those are good shapes. So then you go to a G, and I'll show you just the basic chords here. G, D, that's just 2, 3, 2. Back to G, D, and then you go to an A power chord, an A5. So G, D, G, D, and then there's a little lick in between before the A. So what I did there was, you're on the D, and again, a lot of times I'll actually play that D without the first string. So it just becomes that, which is kind of a cool sound. And then you reach out your pinky, and you play the 4th fret on the 5th string. So it's D, then the 4th fret, then A. So it's D, 4th fret, and then you go right back to the A. So it's G, D, G, D, then the riff to A. Okay, now what he's doing in between is he's palm muting, and he's playing the open A string just on 8th notes. So that sounds like that, and I'm laying my palm right back here where the string and the bridge come together, and you get that real kind of cool dampened sound. And this is really just like rock guitar 101. There's so much, power chording and palm muting, and you're going to use these over and over on all the tunes on this album. So here's the G, and I'll play it slowly. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So it's like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So it's on 1, the and of 2, and then beat 4. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2. And I guess on that D, my pick kind of comes down, and I go down, just to get the riff in there. Nice job! So you've got the intro and the verse down. Let's move on to the pre-chorus next. And don't forget to click the link below for the tab that goes along with this video. Next up, we're into the pre-chorus, and this lands us on a C add 9 chord. And this is the way Angus would play a C a lot. It's just like that G shape we learned a minute ago, but you bring your second finger down one string. So I'm muting the 6th string, playing the 5th string at the 3rd fret, muting the 4th string, playing the 3rd string open, and then getting the next 2 strings at the 3rd fret. So it's like, I want, this is the light, we want to take you down, is the lyrics there. And 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Same thing again, so that's just a C, and really I'm moving one finger to go to the G, and then back to the C. Then you go up to a D chord. It's the melody there. D, A, D. So 0, 2, 3, and I'm playing those. Maybe I'll get the A in there too. And then go to an A, one finger chord right here. Back to a D. And then you go to an E7 sharp 9. This is like the Jimi Hendrix chord here. Open, 7th fret, 6th fret, 7th fret, 8th fret. You've got like a 2-bar build. And what you're kind of doing is you're playing the bass note, E, and then you're doing the chord twice. And when you do the chord, try not to re-attack the bass note. So it's almost like you're differentiating between bass, it's like this little back and forth here. And really it's one bass note and then 2 chords. Right before the chorus, I play just the open strings, and that gets me down to an A chord for the chorus, which is just one finger. So it's like from the D. And it's just a little filler, kind of open strings filling the gap as I make the transition. And there goes my tuner. Okay, so let's back up. Let's do that whole pre-chorus. So it's C, G, C, C, G, C, then D, A, D, and then this build on the E7 sharp 9. Here we go. Okay, one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. And of course that, E7 sharp 9. Just a big build there. And then sometimes in between the chords, I'm kind of just pumping on 8th notes, like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You can always kind of just fill in with those 8th notes if you want to keep the rhythm driving. Next up is the chorus. Let's check that part out. So after that E7 sharp 9, we're into the chorus, and that sounds like this. So it's really just 3 chords. It's an A right on the top, shoot to thrill. Then you go to the G, and it's kind of syncopated. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And coming in on the and of 4. I'm using that G, that 2-finger G, and then to a D for 2 bars. 2, 3, 4. So it's on the beat, pushed on the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, on the beat again. Push. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Now the last part we got to look at is basically, the guitar part for the solo here, and that segues out of the big E7 sharp 9, You're basically going back to that Jimi Hendrix chord, and then you go. And then you're into kind of the pre-chorus part, I wanna take you down, and he's doing some kind of high licks on top like that. So let me go over this part here. So you've got the G chord. You're going G to D, kind of D over A with the A in the bass, and then back to the G, and then back to the D over A. So you're just alternating G, D, G, D, and it sounds like this. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2. And then you do this kind of walk down. And that's kind of coming off of a D chord here. You could think like that, 7, 7 to 5, 7, open, 5th string. So it's like 3 and 4 and just great, like kind of rock licks, double stops. And then that open A enables you to get back down here for the G. 1, 2, 3, 4. You kind of can hear that G on top to F sharp. So 4 times, and then you go back to the and then D to A. E7 sharp, back to the chorus. So a little bit later they start vamping on the chorus chord progression, which we learned already was A, G, D, and Angus goes up and plays some high triads, and these are just little 3-note chords here. I'll show you the way I do it. You've got the first finger here across 3 strings, the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th strings at the 14th fret. So it's basically an A chord just up the octave, and I'm going. So I've got 3 chords, the A, and then that second chord I went to was a G, which would be, let's see, what frets is 15, 16, 17, 16, and 15. Just my fingers right, 1, 2, 3 lined up like that. And then I go to a D, 5 with the open D string in there. So I've got the open D, 14th fret, and then the 15th fret. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. And I'm using my fingers, so for that I just kind of stash my pick between my fingers. I would recommend that, And then you're kind of playing it and then muting right afterwards. So I'm kind of pumping the chord here and then also dampening with my fingers. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope this lesson inspires you to keep playing guitar and keep learning new songs. For more information, you can click on the annotation on your screen or the iCard if you're on mobile, and check out some of the courses available through guitarcontrol.com. Alright, I'm Jon MacLennan. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video lesson.